rose. It rose to the top very quickly for me. Someone left a comment recently and said I'm really just here for the bad puns, so that was for you. What's up guys? Welcome back. It's another monthly favorites. If it feels soon for monthly favorites, it's because February is a short month, so it is technically kind of soon. I have tons of stuff for you guys. I have had the best luck this month with makeup and with clothes and just the things that I've been loving lately. I'm always excited to share my favorites with you guys. I don't know, I was just making my list and I was like, there's a lot of really good stuff on here, so I don't really need to explain to you what a favorites is. Let's go ahead and jump in. Oh boy. Oh boy, yes, my face is so dry. It honestly probably looks better on camera as a result, but like I have a lot of makeup on today because my skin, it's just so stressed out. I ended up kind of going for more coverage than I intended to, but that is fine. It's a-okay. This is really in no particular order. Let's start with makeup, I guess. So it is no secret that I have been having my own personal love affair with Vesca Beauty recently. Vesca, V-E-S-C-A. If you missed these videos, they didn't really seem to like pop off the way that other ones tend to on my channel. This is a fairly new brand and I feel like everyone needs to know about them, and I have no affiliate code with them, nothing. No one's paying me to say that. I just think that they are exquisitely good. They meet all of my needs in terms of being fun and easy to use. And when I say fun, guys, the one and doneness of these eyeshadows is off the charts. So these are actually my two favorites. I have all four. The short story is I bought a bunch of stuff. The brand watched the video, they sent me a bunch more stuff. So there are two Vesca videos. I will link them below if you want to go watch them, but you just basically watch me in real time get really excited about the makeup I'm putting on my face. It's very sincere because these are just really exciting. So these two Moonlit Dream Cream Shadow shades, one is in Lyra and the other is in Karina. Bonkers. They are both these really beautiful like wet look liquid shadows. And one is in like a pink and the other is in this beautiful patina gold. And there are two other shades that I use as deepeners on me, but these two are the ones that I have been wearing on their own the most lately. And that's gonna depend on your skin tone. The deep purple and the kind of taupier brown one might work really well as one and done on you, like as well as these do on me, etc. You guys know I am a junkie for a pink glittery eye. I don't know how I arrived at this place where that's my comfort zone, but it's like I always think I have a new idea. Oh, I have this new idea. I'm gonna do this with my, and every single time I end up with my eyeshadow looking the same, and it's always like some kind of pink glittery situation. So today I was like, oh, you know what I haven't touched in a while? The 1111 palette from Rowan. It ended up being another pink glittery eye situation, but you can tell, you might not be able to tell because I just smoothed it out, but this creases, these don't crease. They dry down to where they look like and behave like just a prestige eyeshadow, like a regular powder eyeshadow. And that's what I think is so phenomenally unique about them, is because the manipulation on the skin is so easy. You can do it with your fingers, but you can also, like once it dries down, use a brush to just blend the edges and maybe pick up a little bit more product and put it under your eyes and stuff. It is super versatile. And I don't know of a formula that I can compare it to. You just have to go watch it in action in those videos. It's pretty incredible. They also have a vast shade range of bronzers, which is kind of their first release. They have a bunch of other stuff. I'm not gonna rehash the whole thing, but these have blown my mind, and so has this. You guys know I'm an evangelist. That's why I have this channel, is because when I find something that I'm obsessed with, I need to like shake everybody by the shoulders and tell them how good it is. So in the most recent Vesca video of the two, I swatched every single one of the lip oils. This is called the Lush Glow Creamy Lip Oil. There are a lot of brands putting out formulas that are like this that tend to call them things like that, where it's like a creamy lip oil or a balmy gloss, liquid lip balm. And they kind of all mean the same thing or something similar because they have this really great, I'm wearing it right now, glossy look to them, but they're not sticky. They're really slippy and bouncy. And this color Ginger Lily was not the first one that I tried. I tried Lotus first, and they sent me all of them, and Ginger Lily rose to the top very quickly for me. Rose. it rose to the top very quickly for me. Someone left a comment recently and said I'm really just here for the bad puns, so that was for you. But yeah, it rose to the top quickly because it's such a great cool toned rose color, which is right within my comfort zone. It wears beautifully. It actually nourishes my lips, and I just think that it does add something. It's not just a clear gloss. I do, like I said, swatch all of them. You can go see all of the shades on my lips, you know, for better or for worse in that video, and that'll probably help you decide like what's for you. I also swatch them on the back of my hand because sometimes that's more helpful than seeing it, you know, on my undertones. Anyway, the formula is bonkers and it's absolutely beautiful. There is a 10% off code that they gave me, Kackie 10, for 10% off on their website. It doesn't earn me any money, but it is a discount for you. So I can't say enough. I can't say enough about their formulas. They are unique for a reason. They're hero products and I'm very, very impressed with them. Vesca is like one of my new favorite brands. It looks like those swatches are they're just gonna stay there. This is one of those things where after the fact, I'm like changing my baby's clothes or something and his onesie just ends up like covered in glitter. That has happened more times than I really want to confess. The next thing that I want to talk about, I've been wearing this every day that I am not on camera, you know, testing something else. Like if I go to a default foundation, it's this. And we will talk about my Project Pan situation in a video very soon. But this is what I've been wearing mostly. Just moving on. So this is the Urban Decay Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator. I got it in the wrong shade. It is slightly too light for me, but I have been deepening it with my debronzy drops. I love this. It is so beautifully hydrating and it actually has a ton of marula oil and glycerin and just really great combination of ingredients in it that make it wear a long time but keep a beautiful bouncy texture on the skin and also like make my skin happy. Everybody's different. I know that it's not going to make everybody's skin happy, especially now that I've moved from one climate to another. Seeing how makeup behaves in those different places and like what I prefer, it just makes me even more aware of tempering my recommendations for you guys and letting you know my skin type, my skin's behavior, my climate, things like that when I say I like something or don't like something, because it's way more important for you to have context than to just know a binary of whether or not something worked for me. So this works beautifully for me, but it is outrageously dry in my house, even though we have a humidifier. It is outrageously dry outside, it's very cold, and my skin is freaking the heck out. But yeah, it's so beautiful if you live in that kind of climate and you do have like struggling dry skin. This is awesome. I really, really like it. It's only $29. We have had a saga with a certain brush on my channel for a long time, and it's not an expensive brush, it's just a discontinued brush. And this is she's not looking particularly fresh at the moment, but this is an Ecotools fluffy loose situation. It is so hard to find a brush like this because it's loose. We always think about the brushes that we use for our powder products needing to be really dense in order to feel luxurious. But there are use cases for both, or for, you know, anything on the spectrum in terms of density, I guess. And so, you know, there are the duo fibers. I've never been much of a duo fiber person. They are like not quite dense enough. But for me, when I'm trying to really diffuse a product, because you guys know I like to layer my products and I'm not the only one, especially powder products. I love to be able to just kind of like watercolor with powder, even bronzer, just knowing that I have more control layering instead of ending up with a lot on my face at once. And if that is a struggle that you have, a loose brush is a godsend. But this has been discontinued for ages and I use it all of the gosh darn freaking time. And the comments that I've gotten from people being like, why can't I find that brush? Why can't I find that brush? Because it's an Ecotools brush. It's not an expensive brush, you know, it's just if you can find it kind of thing. And so thank goodness I got a contact at Ecotools over the last 6 months or so. And she is just lovely. She is so helpful and they have been sending me all kinds of really cool stuff as it's been coming out. You guys know that I've been really enjoying the very squishy new bio blender. This thing is really fun. But I asked her, I was like, what is the deal with this brush? Is there anything like it that you guys have released since discontinuing it? Because there are other ones that are like powder brushes and marketed to be powder brushes, but they don't do this. And it took them forever to get it in stock, but it is a head for their new interchangeables collection. and this is Shea. And it finally came to me and it is great. I do believe, especially with one of these kinds of brushes that's very loose, I do believe in kind of breaking them in a little bit. I know that that sounds weird, but like this is very, very lightweight. A very, very clean brush like this feels different from one that you've had for a while. But regardless, it is the same kind of low density thing. The only difference is that it's just slightly flatter in its profile and its cross section than this one. This one's round, but I don't find that that has any real like effect on the way that I apply my makeup. And I will show you, it is the best way that I have found to get a really nice wash of a powder, be it a bronzer or a blush or a highlighter. Especially a highlighter is really nice kind of diffused with something like this. And since it does have that kind of flat shape to it, you can use, you know, like the Wayne Goss highlighter and get a really, really beautiful shape on the face with it very, very easily. Yes, 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 all day long. Yes, and I have been loving many of the Ecotools brushes lately. They also just sent me this one. Look at that. Look at this thing. It's like a duo fiber cream brush. It's like, I hope I love it because I really want to. So the tools video is imminent. Now that I have that brush and I can give you guys like, you know, I didn't want to like make this whole video about brushes that you couldn't get. That would be incredibly frustrating. So the only other thing is just that the Wayne Goss eyeshadow brushes that I use, the set has not restocked on this on the Beautylish website in a really long time, but you can buy the individual brushes, and at the moment I'm just gonna have to settle for that. I'm not sure when they're gonna restock the full set, and I'm honestly not sure you need the full set. So the tools video is coming. We have what we need. So just wanted to let you guys know that, and you can keep bugging me about it. Keep bugging me about it, remind me. Okay, and the last cosmetic thing before we move into all of the etc. of it all, I have absolutely been sleeping on this, and when I ordered the Rich moisturizer from Glossier, they had like a set, right, of like the Milky Jelly Cleanser, that, and then a balm.com. I've gotten everyone hooked on this stuff like since I got to New Jersey. Mike's mom, I gave her one, and she came to our house a few days later and she was like, so this stuff is great. It really works. How do I get more of it? But yeah, I mean, there's just a reason that this made it to the top of my list in terms of like lip balms that truly, truly work. And I've been sleeping on the mint flavor, the mint scent, because you guys know I love a plumping kind of situation. And when I choose my plumping sensation, I typically choose a minty one rather than like a hot peppers, cinnamon oil kind of thing. And this, it's not meant to be plumping necessarily, but it does a really good job. It kind of reminds me a little bit. It's not as glossy, but do you guys remember the old like menthol lip balms from Bath and Body Works? I used to live for those. Like in the beginning of my channel, like back in 2014, I was still rocking the menthol lip balms from Bath and Body Works. So this does give me a little bit of nostalgia for that, but regardless, it's just a clear one, and it is like a peppermint, spearmint, a lightweight, like a candy cane kind of smell, not like a Altoids smell, I guess, you know, like peppermint Altoids. And it's unoffensive. It's kind of like Burt's Bees, except Burt's Bees makes my lips horrible and peel, but like it's that same kind of lovely sensation. And I just had to mention it because I was like, I've been a Glossier rep for how long? Almost 4 years, and I had never tried the mint, and it is outstanding. And also, I really like these colors. I know that that's awfully silly, but I do like them. The next things have to do with beauty, but not necessarily like beauty you put on your face. It's more like beauty you put in your body kind of thing, treating yourself well. The first one is Monday Zero Proof Gin. I'll stick a picture right here. It's down there in the fridge. I don't want to go bug everybody right now. I ordered a bunch of like the zero proof alcohols to try because I like wine. Sure, I like a cocktail now and then, but sometimes I want to have something and it not make me feel like garbage. And you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be all or nothing. And it's just like a nice thing to have around. Like when everyone else is having a drink and I'm just like, well, I want to have a drink, but I don't really want to feel like I had a drink. Like it's something to just do with my hands, and it's delicious. And I completely argue with the fact that people, like the Alan Carr book where he, you know, about like stopping drinking and everything, he's like, no one likes the taste of alcohol. You just, you know, it's bitter and it's whatever, and you just do it because it's a means to an end. I'm like, nah, I would argue history has, you know, made a big effort over the centuries to try and, you know, make certain spirits taste a certain way because people do like them. And I actually do like the taste of gin. I like the juniper and the herbaceousness of it all. And I just have been making these, like, you know, fake gin and tonics. And it's just a phenomenal little aperitif or digestif or whatever the heck you would call it. It's a lovely little cocktail when I'm, you know, watching Mad Men in the evening or something. And it makes you not feel like garbage the next day. And I'm trying a couple of other brands, but the Monday one is the one that so far, like, is actually really, really good, that I would give my, you know, my approval on. I do love that when I put that up to my Instagram though, I asked a bunch of you guys, I was like, what do you guys think about these like alcohol-free alcohols? And I was talking about the liquors, but like my favorite was all the responses about alcohol-free wine. They were like, don't do it. Oh my God, it's bad. Like from my pregnant friends and stuff, they're like, my husband thought that it would be the nicest thing to do for me to get me alcohol-free wine. And then I made him drink it as punishment. You know? Yeah, so apparently that's a no-go, but I did like the Monday gin, and it's, you know, it's better for me and my mental health and things like that because alcohol tends to disturb my sleep if I have too much, and so it's just a nice thing to kind of, you know, break it up sometimes. And the other thing has been saving my sleep lately because your girl's a little bit anxious. 4 a.m. is my witching hour. It's my brain's witching hour. It just loves to wake up at 4 a.m. and be like, oh, let's toil with all of the issues of the universe. Like, now's the time. What are you angry about from 10 years ago? Let's talk about that. And you're like, I just want to go back to sleep. And I have found also that, like, with the baby and everything like that, sometimes it stresses me out when he's sleeping and I'm thinking, I need to sleep, I need to sleep, I need to sleep, because I want to make the most of the baby's sleep time and make sure I'm sleeping when the baby's sleeping, kind of thing, that I'll psych myself up so much that I can't sleep, and that's great. So, you know, I've tried sleep aids in the past, but I want to also be able to wake up if the baby wakes up. I need to be awake and alert and able to function. I can't take like a ZzzQuil. I know some people can, but I can't take a ZzzQuil and not like be bleary when I wake up in the middle of the night or even feel like garbage in the morning. The ZzzQuil just doesn't do it for me. Like, it's very effective at getting you to sleep, but it's kind of like NyQuil in the sense that it'll also wake you up at 4 a.m. just like buzzing. I will never understand that. But all that to say, we're on like our 5th jar of these, me and Mike. We are obsessed. These are the Ollie Sleep gummies. They're melatonin, L-theanine, and botanicals. And you take 2 of these, they taste like blackberry with a hint of mint, and they work like a charm. You are out in like 20 minutes. And if you have sleep troubles, you know, talk to your doctor. Melatonin's not for everybody. I have heard that just like any sleep aid, melatonin can also contribute to depression and stuff like that. So be careful. Again, check with a doctor before you start taking any kind of sleep aid or something. But melatonin is also a chemical that like lives in your brain regardless. And so I just found that it just really did the trick for us. And it's something that, like, it's my kind of nightly ritual, and it gives me no hangover, no weirdness. And if I wake up with that weird brain racing thing at 4 o'clock in the morning, I can take another one and be okay in the morning. You know, like, I can put myself back to sleep with this and not have, you know, not be up for an hour and a half, 2 hours just stressing out about God knows what. And I don't feel hungover or weird or drowsy in the morning, which is utterly fantastic. And I think that these are great. Okay, let's chat about some attire, shall we? Some apparel. I'm going to start by sharing this. This is a purchase that was kind of inspired by a couple of creators that I follow. Analuisa Poston and Rainier Kramer. They are both big Poshmark shoppers. So this is a Reformation York coat, and it is brand new, but it is in a retired fabric. It was out last year. It went on sale, but I just couldn't justify buying this heavy of a coat if I was living in Texas. But as soon as I moved or knew that I was moving here, I was like, look, this thing has lived rent-free in my brain for so long. It is so gorgeous. It's like double-breasted and just so classy. And is that just, that's a tissue? Of course that's a tissue. My nose runs constantly. So the York coat is something that they put out, I'm pretty sure, like every year, something like that. It's a very classic cut. But again, that fabric was out of stock, and so I went on Poshmark. I found it brand new with tags. It was $200 instead of like the $330 that it is retail right now, and I was just so pleased with my Poshmark experience. Poshmark has always seemed really, really chaotic to me, you know, to actually go onto Poshmark and think of that as a shopping space. But I think what I did is that I just Googled it, and the listing on Poshmark came up, and I was like, that is neat. So I did a little research, found out which size I would need, and I ordered it, and it's absolutely gorgeous and perfect. But I was just so pleased that I was able to get it at the price that I got it. And again, I've been watching, like, especially on Rainier's stories, she gets like the cutest outfits and stuff on Poshmark. And also Hannah, oh my gosh, she has just been killing it lately. I totally understand what she's talking about when she talks about like getting excited to film. And so you want to kind of do yourself up from like the waist up because you know that that's what's going to be showing on camera. And she has been just like, the styles that she has been wearing have been giving me life with the headbands and everything like that. And now it is something that kind of lives in the front of my brain of going, if something's not available or something's really expensive or something's been on the market for a while, but I've been thinking about it for a long time, to double check Poshmark, because it might be on there and it might be half the price, you know? And there's something really snobby in me that's never wanted to do that, and I'm like really glad that I did. I was like, oh, this is actually a really flawless process. So wanted to shout that out, as well as the York coat. So they do still sell that on Reformation. I will link that below, but if I can find it on Poshmark, I will also do that. And in the spirit of cold weather investments, I did a lot of research. I talked to friends of mine who live in even colder climates than I live in, because even in Austin, Texas, I would get made fun of for being overdressed for every type of weather. It was always like, Kackie, it's only 40 degrees. Why are you wearing so many layers? Why are you dressed so warmly? You don't need gloves and a hat, kind of thing. And my argument was always, yes, I do, I'm cold. And I've never felt ashamed about being like, absolutely as comfortable as possible when it's cold outside. Like, I want to make sure that I have enough layers on. Like, Mike always made fun of me because I bundle up a lot to go for a run. He's like, wow, I did not realize it was snowing. Although that's not really like a super salient joke now, because Austin got it really bad. Texas got it really bad. In fact, I mentioned that in my drugstore dupes get ready with me that I just did. But again, I film ahead by about a week. And so at that point, it had been just shy of like 48 hours. I thought that it was everything was gonna come back. It ended up getting so much worse after I filmed that video that I sounded insensitive in that video. And I watched it again when it came out last Monday, and I was like, oh, that sounds really tone deaf, but it's because it had just happened, and it had been like a night, like one night of no power for my friends, and I just like thought it was gonna go away. Either way, all that to say, I bought some boots. I talked to some friends of mine about, you know, what brand I should be shopping for, like really good, invincible boots for snow and for cold weather. It doesn't often snow like this where I live, but this year has been insane. It's been snowing like crazy. And I just wanted something really reliable. So my friend told me, shop Sorrel. They're very affordable and they are very effective. And then I went on their website and I read all the reviews. Can I just say how much I love how passionate women, I don't know about men, but these are all women's boots. These women are about the performance of their winter shoes and apparel. Oh my gosh, like we are all wanting the same thing out of these shoes. You know, we're looking at these boots and we're thinking, are they waterproof? Do they have grip to them? And are they warm? And in so many cases, reading the reviews, I went from being like, oh, I like those, to going, oh, no. Thank you for sharing your experience. And women would actually post pictures of their boots after they had worn out for a season and stuff like that. And it was so unbelievably helpful. And so the ones that I ended up buying were the new version. I think these are like the new model of the Joan of Arctic boots. and they are super comfortable, and they are super warm, and they are waterproof. They have great traction. We go on snow walks while I am carrying a baby on my body, and I feel confident in them in that sense from a safety standpoint. And even though they lace up the top, they slide on and off, which is wonderful because when you're putting all of your snow gear on, you just want it to be easy. Plus they have kind of a utilitarian look to them, but they're also cute. Like I wear them with that Reformation coat and I still feel like they're fashionable enough to get away with that, even though they are very like, you know, extremely practical. So yeah, I think they were under $200 and they were the ones that had the best reviews, and so far they have been amazing for me. I'm going to go from being the person who reads reviews about that stuff to the person who writes reviews on that kind of stuff because, you know, I'm really out here now, right? I don't know. Okay. Next we have a couple of brands that I have partnered with in the past that I need to mention now because I have moved into a new house. The first one is Italic. Italic is a company that they've been getting their feet under them, I feel like. They started out with kind of an initial offering of like cashmere sweaters and stuff like that. They are a company that goes like brandless, labelless, and they use all of the manufacturers that make a lot of the luxury goods that you know, do pay a pretty penny for, especially because of the label. And they, since they don't have a brand name, quote unquote, that they're like promoting, it's all at cost. But you have to pay for a membership for a year to the website, basically, in order to be able to shop there. So as they've kind of increased their offering and stuff, I've gotten to try a lot of things. We have this beautiful cashmere blanket that I talked about a little while ago that we got. It's like a baby blanket that we got for Simon. I have some sheets that are unbelievable. They're these like eucalyptus and they feel like water when you're sleeping on them. They're wild. I have some workout clothes. I have a fantastic puffer jacket from them. And coming to me right now is a full new bedding set that is all linen that I'm so excited about because I'm making over my bedroom. It is already beautiful. I love it, but the last residents just punched so many holes in the walls. I don't understand. They hung everything. Like the wall, you couldn't even see the walls practically. And so not only are there nail holes everywhere, but they also like marked where they wanted to mount the TV with Sharpie. So that's gonna be fun to try and cover. We'll get to that in a second. But regardless, I'm using it as an opportunity to just redo my bedroom, and I'm having a lot of like, you know, bursts of inspiration and stuff. And this linen bedding just inspired me to make it kind of like a spa-y sort of space that's very relaxing. My last bedroom with the turquoise walls was very like rich and cozy. This I want to be just a little bit more like airy. But either way, I have been bugging the company, literally, I've been bugging them for a long time because since they are such a new company, they actually listen to the influencers that they partner with. So I have been really pulling for a reason for you guys to even want to like sign up through me. You know, if you can't offer them a discount, then what's the point? Like they're not, you know what I mean? Why would anybody engage with that? Why wouldn't they just go sign up on the website or just not sign up on the website? And they were like, all right, cool, half off the membership with my code down below if you want to shop, all that stuff. And I'm telling you, like, they've got, you know, really, it's very, very affordable once you do actually, like, they've got homewares, they've got clothes, they got sweats, they got candles and bedding, and it's just all really, really beautiful stuff. And I've just been very impressed with the quality of it. They keep coming out with very like well-informed new releases, I feel like, in terms of like what people want. Like the stuff's cool, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an update that I pushed hard enough that we got you guys a 50% discount on that membership if you're curious. And check out my vlog channel coming up because that's what I'm going to be showing you guys, like the makeover of my bedroom and everything like that. And the other thing having to do with making over my bedroom is I had to pick a paint color. And I went to the brand that I always go to, that I've been using for years, that is just so much fun because they do these like swatches that you stick on the wall, which is just, I don't know. I find this really effective. These are like $2. It is Clare Paint, C-L-A-R-E, and I used the shade Motor City in my old office back at the old house, and I'm honestly tempted to do it again because I liked that kind of like blue-gray behind me rather than this, because this is the color that it was when I, that they already had when I moved in, and it is very similar to my skin tone. It's just kind of like it's monotonous. Let me know if you guys think that it would be better to have Motor City back behind me the same way in the old videos. We did the color Frozen for Simon's nursery. We're gonna do that again. And we have a bunch of other swatches downstairs for other rooms and everything. But this was the shade that I chose for my bedroom. And I had chosen it, I think, ahead of time. And I posted it to my Instagram and the brand reached out to me and they were like, look, we've been seeing you for a while. We know that you love our brand and that you've, you know, bought plenty of paint from us in the past. Can we send you the gallon of Dirty Martini, which is the shade for your bedroom? And I was like, yes, absolutely. That's so sweet, so amazing. So if you're unfamiliar with Claire paint, they are a Black-owned paint brand that's all online. And what I love about them is that, like, you go on there and very much like the difference between buying makeup that's already selected for you versus Finding Ferdinand, for example. Finding Ferdinand lets you design your own lipsticks. Sometimes you just want someone to simplify the process for you. I am not the person who loves a ton of options. Like when I go into that wall of paint chips in like Home Depot and I'm just like, well, I know I want something kind of turquoise, but like I go over there and there's like 800 turquoises. And when you get them home, they're like this big. It's super frustrating. And I have bought, and we've all bought, the wrong paint before, you know, and ended up having to either return it or if it's custom mixed, just like eat the cost of it. It totally stinks. And so I love that on their website, they're like, oh, you wanted a really great kind of like dirty moss green? We have one of those. And we've dialed it in to the point that it's gonna probably work for you. The same way that like M Cosmetics is like, you probably want this persuasion of a dirty rose, right? You know, instead of being like, how many dirty roses do you want? So I did order a few of their greens in order to just, you know, give myself a little bit of perspective. So we have one called 2 Scoops, which is like a mint green. And then we have one called Oh My Green, which was, I mean, it's very beautiful, but it would be kind of cartoonish in my room, just the way that the light works in there. And the one that I did end up choosing, like I said, is Dirty Martini. But the best thing about these is they go on the wall, and so you can see how they're gonna look and interact with the light in that room. And it's just so helpful. They're like 8 inches, 9 inches, something like that. Like they're big. And how helpful is that? And it just peels right off, no problem. So yeah, Dirty Martini is the shade that I'm going to be painting my bedroom. Again, follow me over there on the vlog channel. It's linked on my front page. It's called More Kackie. And you can watch me make my bedroom over, probably slowly but surely. It's not going to be like one big, you know, reveal, but I am going to paint it. I do have the paint now. But yeah, I just wanted to thank Claire for like noticing me, I guess. And I'm super, super excited to be like a friend of the brand at this point. It's very, very nice. All right, and the final thing, I don't have anything that I've been like absorbing with my eyeballs lately. We've just been watching Mad Men and it's great, you know, but it's nothing new. Anyway, another thing called Claire. The other day was my husband's birthday and he always throws me for a loop whenever I ask him, what do you want me to bake you for your birthday this year? It's always something different. It's like, is it cookies? Is it a cheesecake? Is it a carrot cake? This year it was coffee cake, and I had luckily just watched the Claire Saffitz Dessert Person video where she made her coffee cake. Now, I don't have the book. I didn't have enough notice, and so I literally bought all the ingredients and kind of baked along with her in the video and made it gluten-free. And I had the wrong size pans, and we were snowed in, so I couldn't like go and get the right size pan. So I ended up having two, one that was like really short and one that was really tall and like a loaf pan. That recipe is flawless, you guys. There has been nothing more exciting in my life lately than waking up every morning, especially it's like 5 o'clock in the morning when my baby wakes me up, and all I can think while I'm sipping my first cup of coffee is, there's coffee cake downstairs. Like, I'm so excited about it, and it is so good. Like, if the rest of the stuff in that cookbook is as good as that coffee cake, like, it deserves to be bought immediately, and I think I'm going to. And also, it should go without saying, but I will say it anyway, there just aren't that many great baked goods for gluten intolerant people, and the fact that it adapted so well with just regular cup for cup gluten-free all-purpose flour, it really just speaks to the quality of the recipe. So yeah, Absolutely delicious. I might have eaten like 3 slices the first day, maybe also on the second day, and it makes a ton. For all that effort, it makes a ton of coffee cake, so it's super duper worth it. But I will also link that video down below so that Claire gets your eyeballs, because she's absolutely lovely. If you guys aren't familiar with, like, you know, the cast, the previous cast of the BA Test Kitchen, they're all doing their own things now, but Claire left to write her cookbook Dessert Person, so that is where it came from. And the whole channel is just, it's just the most Virgo thing I've ever watched. Like, if you ever just want to watch a Virgo, be a Virgo Dessert Person, Claire Saffitz, it's excellent. So maybe that is something that I have been absorbing with my eyeballs media-wise, that counts too. So anyway, those are all of my faves for February, things that I've just been loving, and I hope that you guys found this fun and enjoyable. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you want to keep hanging out with me on this channel, hit the button down below and subscribe. I would love it if you did. Follow me on Instagram. Go find my vlog channel. I'll probably link it below if I remember, but it's on my front page. It's called More Kackie, and that's where I'm updating you guys on all the behind the scenes stuff. Thank you so much for watching and for hanging out with me today, guys. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.